Hello, my name is Parker Bennink, and I'm a student filmmaker here at Rowan University. And as of right now, I'm also the president of Rowan University Cinema Workshop, which is our campus's filmmaking club and also pseudo-production company. I was compelled to make this project because as a student filmmaker myself, I wanted to give more people an insight into what life as a student filmmaker in the 21st century is actually like, because it's something that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know unless they knew people who were student filmmakers or decided to ask or watch something like this. Student filmmaking actually is really difficult, and I don't want you to just hear it from me, which is why throughout this project I'm going to interview a number of my peers to get their insights on student filmmaking as well. You might be wondering why I decided to call this project Rat Race. To be honest with you, it's because that's what I think of it as in my head. According to Google, which gets their sources from Oxford Languages, a rat race is a way of life in which people are caught up in a fiercely competitive struggle for wealth or power, or it's an exhausting and usually competitive routine. That's what I think student filmmaking is. Students are competing with one another, even though I really think that the only person you should be competing with is yourself. And it's always a competition of who has the better gear and who can have the crazier shot, who can write the better script, who can make the better film in the end. And that's really not how it should be, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, we're all just artists, and film is our medium. We just want to show the world what we have in our heads, the great ideas. At the end of the day, and I know that's like the fourth time I've said at the end of the day in this sentence, but film is entertainment. We're creating these films to express ourselves and also to entertain others. Film really shouldn't be a competition, which is why it's a shame that every 2 years cameras double in resolution and you need to upgrade all your equipment if you want to stay at the forefront of the game. But enough of me just rambling about it. This whole rat race thing is just my opinion. So I'm going to go out there and talk to some of my peers to see what they have to say about their life as a student filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Truman Steffen. I'm a sophomore here at Rowan University, RTF major with a minor in photography.
My name is Grace, and I'm an English major.
Hello, my name is Jordan Sheppard. I am a sophomore here at Rowan University. I am a radio, television, film major.
Hello, my name is Matthew Boyle. I'm a RTF major at Rowan University.
Some of my favorite roles to have on a film set would just be camera op. I like a lot of those higher positions. I also do like producing stuff.
If starting with pre-production, definitely writing. I've been writing since middle school, high school. It's something I just enjoy. It's more of a hobby at this point.
You know, people don't understand producer, but that's a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, right? A lot of the groundwork for locations and making the practical stuff of a creative piece happen.
Being a hands-on person, so a lot of that is being in G&E, grip and electric.
Some of my favorite roles, I think, are directing. I actually was surprised that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
When you get into production, definitely director, more behind-the-scenes stuff. Calling the shots, being directing the camera, directing the talent is something I enjoy.
I do a lot of the lighting on the film set. Anything that would be, dangerous to the set, I make sure to make it safe for everyone.
And I actually enjoy being PA because I get to kind of see what everyone else is doing, and I enjoy doing filling out the sound reports and things like that if it comes to it. I've worked on a bunch of the fests for Cinema Workshop, so, little horror shorts, things like that.
I've worked on a lot of different shoots for Cinema Workshop.
I did some things for RTN and CW, our clubs here at Rowan.
I've worked with Cinema Workshop a couple times, trying to get a larger scale production done called Dance Fever for this spring.
Doing some studio shows for RTN.
I also worked on a job outside here at Rowan. It was a grip on an independent film called Stalked.
I am producing a sketch comedy show for the Rowan Television Network called The Night Owl, where we do sketch comedy.
And the main project that I've worked on was a short film that I wrote and directed called Starchild, and that was about 20 minutes long.
I got approached to act in the advanced film because all my friends are in the class as well. They approached me afterwards and were, hey, do you actually want to do the lighting as well for this? And they needed someone, so helped them out with that. It was a lot of fun.
I'm trying to get my company off the ground, but yeah, just minor stuff like that.
Yes and no. I think our education here is really good.
Yes and no.
I think education in the film industry is only going to get you so far.
I don't think education in general can necessarily prepare you for exactly what the working world is going to be like.
If you're not self-driven or motivated in the space that you're in, then you're not going to want to do anything for it.
Yes, because, I mean, they tell you how it is. They tell you what to expect. They tell you what to do. They tell you what to prepare for. But also no, because it's just student projects, you know, because nothing is professional.
Some professors know the ins and out of the industry. Some just have a great eye for this, but they love teaching.
Film, you have to really want to learn how to use a camera, learn how to use audio, learn these different positions and roles. That's what college is about, the experimentation while you're in college to figure out a lot of these different things. So when you get out there, you know the rules and you know how to operate this equipment and all that.
Education can get you halfway there. It can give you the skills that you need, and then everything else you kind of pick up on the job.
Yeah, you still get the experience from it, but like they're not going to prepare you for a 12-hour day in the middle of nowhere.
They could prepare you so much, but when you're actually not on a student film and you're working with professionals, it is a totally different experience because it's nonstop. You got so many people like doing the same job as you. The lingo, you're going to be so confused.
Some of my struggles as a student filmmaker would include maybe just not having like proper audio equipment, to be completely honest with you.
It's a lack of equipment, and especially for me,
getting everything done within the time that I have.
I guess just trying to put pieces together and figure out how to do things.
And it's not even like it's bad equipment, it's just sometimes it's like you think of something and you just need one more.
I don't mean that in the sense of like I don't know how to set up a camera or a tripod or like tell people what to do. It's just a matter of getting things started and hit the ground running.
Doing the pre-production for Starchild was really difficult. It involved puppetry, fabricated sets, and pre-recorded audio.
We don't have a specific lighting course here. I find myself learning on set a lot and also like just doing my own research.
Yeah, like they prepare us for what we can do, but then when it comes down to do it, some professionalism kind of goes out the window.
I was trying to do that while also dealing with all of my other classes. So it's a really difficult thing to balance. And also the basic of doing things with a small budget, because it can be really hard to realize a big vision within a few $100s. You absolutely, at least from my experience, need to diversify your skills to make a successful project.
Absolutely. I think you need to be in as many different avenues as possible.
I do. Because sometimes like the vision is just so specific that I feel like I have to do everything.
That was actually, before I directed, it was my goal to be as many roles on a film set as I possibly could have.
Yeah, because the thing is everyone's going to find their niche. They're going to find what they like doing the most.
So first of all, you can find what you're good at.
It gives you the perspective of realizing what each individual person needs.
I haven't really been on a project here, at least, where I haven't had at least some input.
Mainly between lighting and camera, because if you could diverse yourself in both areas, you can, it brings a whole new creative aspect to the project. You're actually going to be able to give input, see what works, see what doesn't work.
Obviously, there are going to be cases where it's not my thing, it's somebody else's.
And just learning what everyone has to do can make it pretty handy in general, even though, it's not your job.
Audio, if you haven't recorded audio, you might not be thinking about where the boom needs to be placed, if there's any background noise, things like that. But once you've done it, you think about those things when you're setting up a shot.
Especially in the field where creativity is sky's the limit, and you need a lot of these different skills to keep up with a bunch of other people who are competing for positions.
So we got a lot of diverse answers through those interviews, but one thing that you can definitely see is that all of them expressed how difficult it really is to be a student filmmaker and how competitive it is in the industry if you want to actually succeed in this life. So, what exactly is the point of this whole project? What's the message that I'm trying to get across? I'm calling filmmaking a rat race and a competition, while also saying that that's how you shouldn't think about it. What am I really getting at? Honestly, I guess what I'm just trying to say is, even though the filmmaking world is super competitive, that shouldn't stop you from just going out there and making films. Now, I know I made a comment earlier in this project about how cameras double in resolution every 2 years or so, and you need to upgrade your gear constantly if you want to stay at the forefront of the game. But really, that's not true. You can create a good-looking image with just about any camera and lighting setup if you know what you're doing. The one thing that is a little bit difficult is audio, like Truman said, because not a lot of people have professional audio recording devices. But worst comes to worst, you know what you can use? Your iPhone. These things are actually pretty good as audio recording devices. They have decent microphones, and you can just use voice memos to record whatever you want, basically. Maybe I should have recorded this project with my iPhone microphone in order to better prove that point, but I wanted it to sound as good as possible, so here we are. I've shot on Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras 6K Pros. Right now, I'm shooting on a Sony a6400, which is much cheaper than a Blackmagic, but in all honesty, I'm very satisfied with the image quality of this camera. The camera really isn't that important, it's just that you know how to use it. Lighting is really the key to making a good looking image. Right now for this setup, I literally have a lamp pointed at myself and a tiny square light behind me for a backlight that I don't even know if it's actually doing anything. But just to prove how easy and fun it is to experiment with different camera and lighting setups, I went ahead and took some cinematic shots of myself just to see what I could do by myself in about 15 to 20 minutes. As you can see, the results aren't that bad, and I'm not shooting with professional lights or a professional camera. I'm shooting with a beginner camera and a $30 LED light. And this is just stuff that I was able to do by myself. So imagine what you can create when you get a group of your peers together with similar goals. Filmmaking is difficult. Filmmaking is very competitive. And I'm not going to pretend that gear doesn't matter at all, because certain pieces of equipment are objectively better than others. But don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the rat race. Grab your equipment, whatever it is you may have. Get a group of friends together, go outside, and make a film. If you all try your best, I guarantee it's going to be a lot better than you think it will be. Thank you very much for watching this project. Also, special thanks to everyone that I interviewed. Also, special thanks to everyone who helped me out with the audio, because I did rent an audio recorder because, once again, Truman was right. No one has audio equipment, not even me. I'll put a full list of everyone's names in the credits, as well as all of the projects that I put clips from in here. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my insight about student filmmaking.
Just experiment with it, so when you get out into the real world, you know